And I think that the World Health Organization should be ashamed of themselves.
It's a distraction not because it's not important, it's a distraction not because it's not a tragedy, but we really need to put this into context globally.
One thing scientists do agree on is that there is little chance this virus was released as the result of a laboratory accident.
You've probably heard lots of bits of information about coronavirus. Some of it's true, but some of it is so misleading.
I would like to assure you that WHO's position is very, very clear. We need to know the origin of this virus. But
the idea that it came from a lab is an accusation without any evidence, whereas there's plenty of scientific evidence which tells us that this is from nature, as is MERS coronavirus and the SARS coronavirus before it.
There's a third theory as well, that it occurred naturally but then accidentally escaped a Wuhan lab.
China has repeatedly lashed out at such claims. Beijing says there is no evidence that suggests the virus was accidentally released from the Wuhan Institute of Virology and then into the human population. But some experts say it did.
In a cave somewhere down there some years ago. But all of this may be proof that China has now decided it needs to control anything that may relate in any way at all to the question of the origin of the virus.
Beijing's been reluctant to agree to an independent inquiry, and it's taken many months of negotiation for this access to be allowed.
Meanwhile, the World Health Organization has released its plan to investigate the origins of the COVID pandemic. The search will start in Wuhan, the Chinese city, where the cluster of cases was first identified, and expanded across China and beyond.
And now the virus impact on global supply chains really highlights the interconnectedness of global markets. And I think it's something that we continually underestimate.
For different reasons. Often international global elites are working to undermine the sovereignty and the will of national communities. And those elites include mainstream politicians in their own countries.
For shooting at the civilians. Yeah, it seems like something they'd do and be told and ordered to do to protect it from getting out, to stop the disease spreading. But that's also a known thing that secret organisations would do to keep the evidence hidden. If a place was riddled with disease like Atlanta, you would quarantine that place. That's what happens in real life. When a virus like this happens, you quarantine that area. When you start killing people, it's more because they're witnesses.
Okay.
Bioterror there's always the potential for bioterror. How you approach engineered microbe surveillance mechanisms to determine if there's anything out there in society that could be used in a bioterror situation.
It's the big one, the scandal we've been dreading. Billy, something's in the air, and the public, everyone is painfully aware. It's the kind of story everyone will share. The numbers keep on growing, you can see where this is going. We are paying for a hideous mistake. It's a ticking clock that's counting down an outbreak. Every day another case, outbreak. At a terrifying pace, outbreak. When's it gonna stop? What's it gonna take? Outbreak, outbreak. Outbreak. Sam, it's not as bad as it sounds, Sam. It can be contained. Simple misunderstandings. These things can be explained. No one would believe that these are acts we could commit. Billy, time is up and we're in deep fucking shit. Deep fucking shit. Billy, Sam, listen, keep quiet. This thing is going viral. Billy, Sam, it isn't safe. You and I, we are caught in a terrifying spiral.
Sam, you play along now. Everything's at stake.
Billy, we are never gonna cover up this outbreak. You've been hiding your disease. Outbreak.
I only meant to put the folks at ease.
Outbreak.
You're responsible as well, you righteous little fake.
Outbreak. 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 The children. Won't somebody think of the children? So innocent and pure, only in a world this shitty. How much more can they endure? There has to be a cure. Outbreak. It's a sickness, it's in my DNA. Outbreak. We're the culprits, and all of us will pay. Outbreak.
Our careers, must we go away?
Outbreak.
By the way, I'm announcing that I'm gay.
Outbreak. One by one it brings us down. Outbreak. It's burning through the whole damn town. Outbreak. Now they've got us on the run. Outbreak. Can it ever be undone? Outbreak. A nightmare from which we can't awake. Outbreak. Outbreak.
Bioterror there's always the potential for bioterror. How you approach engineered microbes, surveillance mechanisms to determine if there's anything out there in society that could be used in a bioterror situation.
It's a ticking clock that's counting down an outbreak.
Well, the US says it's looking into what many have called a conspiracy theory.
And I think that the World Health Organization should be ashamed of themselves.